All right, my man, state your name and let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
Yo, this is Nate.
And you on Real Talk with Nick.
I'm on Real Talk with Nick. You know
All right,
the
man.
vibes. Nick's tape. Yes, sir.
All right, that's what it is, man. Nick
You know the
fan.
vibes. Yes, sir.
All
My
right,
boy,
man.
you know the vibes.
So talk to me about these New York Knicks, man. Do you like what you see when we speak of the Knicks today?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. When I speak about my Knicks, I see some real, true potential. I'm not even gonna lie. It's looking real, like we locked in. I'm not even gonna lie. Ever since Randle, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen the Knicks take it one step at a time. Since the signing with Randle.
What do you say to those? Speaking of being that you brought up Randle, right? What do you say to those who say that it's time to let Randle go? I mean, are you on that, Ben?
It's more easier than said, and I know that's the typical rumor nowadays. Is see what he can actually get his true potential with us and possibly trade him midway season. Who fucking knows? But my fault. Excuse my language, but what people don't really know is that Randle really he plays every game of the season. He's the true motor of the Knicks nation. Like he's our true leader. Brunson is our lock-in point guard, and he's a superstar. But Randle, he's just got to get off that hiccup in the playoffs. You can't say that he doesn't produce all through the season. This guy is a true leader on the court, off the court, and the numbers may look like a freaking stock market, but at the end of the day, our defense is, you can maybe arguably say top 10, but I don't see anybody defense better than the Knicks nation, obviously.
You know?
Honestly.
So you think the Knicks is ready for Boston?
Man, I think we was ready for Boston this year. I'm not even gonna lie. That game 7 was tough. Injuries is a real thing, man. It's just real tough when you don't have your full team there. And I'm not gonna lie, since I seen that little incident with Embiid and when Mitch, I was like, health is a real thing, man. And when you go, what you got to win 16, it's
Right.
tough. Like look at Luka. Luka just got a feel for that. This guy's been playing all over the world. You know what I'm saying? All over the world. So he knows what it's takes. He's been a pro since I think 16 years old. He's only 25. He's 25 years of age now. He's a very young guy. Just got to the finals, and now he had to eat that, man. He knows what it takes to get there, and he knows what it's going to be like to finally bite that apple when he gets there again. It's just he has to work on that defense.
Now, being that you brought up Luka, right? You know, Jalen Brunson one time was playing in the shadow of Luka.
That's a fact.
When he was in Dallas and you heard the news that he was coming to the Knicks,
a lot of people might have expected a superstar. Everybody wants to get Donovan Mitchell, I already know. But it's like I said, bro, it's always easier said than done. And Brunson, when Luka went down the previous year and in the playoffs, exceeded that. Nobody even expected that from him. He really put that. I feel like he put that Mavs team right on his shoulders and took them to as far as they got. And
so you knew that once he came to the Knicks.
I knew this man since Villanova, man. I've always fucked with Brunson. Ever since he got those 2 chips with the Villanova boys, that's why this roster now is so solid. It may sound like a cliche and so cheesy, but it's the Villanova boys, man. It's Nova boys. It's gonna be lit this year.
All right, so you must be happy with the signing of Mikal Bridges.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a solid defensive man, and his expectations were set a little too high when he got sent to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn, it was a bad situation for him because he wasn't on that pedestal when he was in Phoenix. Remember that. He was like a piece. He was only a piece for them. Solid defense, solid 15, 20 points. You know, KD was up and down throughout the whole year, and he really stepped up, especially in the playoffs, man. He went off. He did solid. You may not see it in the numbers, but his defense is A1. And with the signing of OG and Mikal now, come on, man. That's 2 great wing players that they're going to get a lot of stops, man. Especially with Mitch in the back.
Now, speaking of Mitch, man, a lot of New Yorkers, man, is kind of like, ready to let Mitch go.
Right?
Because they're saying he's injury prone. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And the
true.
success
That's
of
true.
Isaiah Hartenstein when he came to the Knicks, who's
That was
no
a tough
longer
one to
with
fight
us.
too. Letting go Isaiah.
I mean, let's start with Mitch, man. I mean, what you think his future as a Knickerbocker look like? Is the writing on the wall, man?
I honestly think, speaking from the past, man, they're just gonna probably play him out midway season, see what the trading options are, possibly. But when Mitch is healthy, you cannot lie, he produces, man. And maybe not so on the offense. Gotta work on that free throw for sure, man. Free throws are clutch, bro. And if you look at not last year, the year before, when we missed the playoffs, lost a lot of games because of free throws, bro. We was losing by 4, 5, 3 every single game. I was like so sick of watching the Knick game for nothing, like wasting my night. Like I was getting like really, really upset because this team is just like so good, and it's just like at waste. They have a lot of injuries that year though, but not to really speak too much on that. But Mitch, I think he's solid, man. Defense, can't say nothing about that.
So if you was to compare the defensive game to that of Isaiah Hartenstein, you think he got one up?
Oh man, Isaiah just really proved himself this year, man. This previous year, he's a dog. That's what you call a dog. Like, you know, a guy that just does the little things for you, just goes out and gets that last rebound, that extra assist, that one bucket, that one tough bucket that you need. That's the guy. And you need that dog. Every team needs that one dog, and that's what I say. That's why he got paid, bro. And nobody can be mad about that.
But do you think he fleeced the Knicks, man? I mean, damn.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy for guys like us to really speak about it, man. I talk about this with my dad all the time, man. Like, it's easy for us to really speak about it because we've never been there. We've never actually had the opportunity in terms of money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when the advertisement and the agents get involved and all that sort of things, you know, they get in the player's ear. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's gonna go where it's best for him. And OKC is not a bad place for Isaiah Hartenstein. OKC got a lot of potential, man. They got a real tough defense as well. And Shy's that man.
Okay.
Fuck with Shy. That's my guy.
All right.
I really had him for MVP or Luka. I called Luka in the beginning of the year, but Shy, oh my god, I can't believe he couldn't get a 10.
Now, I want to talk about the critics, right? When we speak of the Knicks having guards, I think we got 3 guards now, right? And some say
critics on the guards.
Some say that then we got undersized guards, man.
That we can't get it done because we got undersized guards, but yet they're superstars, man. They may not fit the description, you know what I'm saying? But man, we got the 2 seed, bro. The 2 seed. And mind you, we were tied for one game with like 4 or 5 other teams. We was at the bottom a very long time ago. Just lost Randle, Mitch. Brunson went down for a little bit, but nobody really talks about that. But when he came back, everything started to fall into place. Like I said, since we got Randle, everything just started getting better. It was signing with Randle, then we got Brunson. When we made the trade with when we got Hart,
right,
that was solid. After the trade with Hart, we got knocked out in the second round. Then we made a trade for OG. What happened with OG? I think the Knicks went
26-5.
26-5 bro,
with OG,
including the playoffs. That's
now, what
insane.
you like OG in an OB game?
Like I said, that's another dog right there, man. The numbers is not there, but he's that solid player that's gonna get you 8-8-8. Guaranteed he's gonna get you that 8-8. That's why I love OG and the stops, bro. He's gonna get those stops for you. He's the wing side that can guard any position too. Any position. You saw what he would do in the MB. MB was really trying it in the playoffs. He was really trying it. He was hurt and he was getting hit to his buckets, but OG was putting that pressure on him, man. Like he had no choice. He put a couple back. I know you saw the playoffs, bro.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
He pounced a couple on MB. You know the vibes, bro.
Yeah. Now
that's that real New York.
Right. Now, speaking of all the injuries that took place with the New York Knicks,
right?
Do Tom Thibodeau, as the head coach, get the blame for that?
Hell no. I don't want to hear none of that criticism. What else are you gonna do when you don't have a bench that produces or is ready? Yeah, we found out late about Burks, that's very argumentative. You can argue about that, but I mean, when you got what you got and they're producing at their best, then what else can you really ask? And if the players are not gonna want to be out, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand these guys. This is what they live and breathe and fight for. This is what they're getting paid to do. So they they're, if anything, before Tom Thibodeau runs them to the ground, they're gonna run themselves to the ground before that happens. They're very young too. They don't give a fuck. It's that real New York grit. I'm telling you.
So you ain't on that stance with Tom Thibodeau being
Hell no. He has a pass. He has a pass, and I understand that, and it shows. You can't lie about that. It definitely showed this year, but it was much more passionate, more than Thibodeau just putting out anybody. Like, we have injuries. Isaiah was hurt for a good part of the year as well. Jalen was hurt for some days here and there. Then he hurt his hand at the end of the playoffs. It's a lot of injuries, man. And OG went down with the hamstring.
So you don't feel that Tom Thibodeau be giving out max minutes and we give time for players to rest? You not concerned about people feeling that he don't rotate his players enough?
It's the playoffs, man. It's the playoffs, and when you're getting beat, and like I said, the bench is not producing. What other choice are you gonna have? What can you do? That's where I'm trying to get at. Now the bench is much more. Now today is much more. The word I'm looking for, intelligent in a way. Now that they've seen what the playoffs is actually like, McBride is much more tough. He's much more a solid guard. I think with this, in my opinion, with this whole Mitch thing, until they figure that out, I think we're going to see some Jericho Sims. He's has some real true potential. He's a solid, good forward center. He can really catch those balls and lob, and he's a way better free throw shooter than Mitch.
So let me ask you this, being that you brought up Jericho Sims, right? Because a lot of people saying being that Isaiah Hart left to OKC,
right?
They was looking for Julius Randle to play the 5.
It's possible. We can see that.
So would you rather see Julius Randle play the 5 or leave it up to Jericho Sims? Which would be a better move?
I think the pass is gonna pretty much prove itself. We'll probably see Mitch go down again. I'm expecting it, bro. I'm not even to like put any bad juju out there, whatever the case is, bro. But I just see it coming, and we're gonna have no choice unless it's looking like we're trying to sign another center at the moment, make some cap space for the moment. I know that's what they're trying to do, but I think Jericho Sims is gonna see some playing time this year. I think you're gonna see him actually.
But who would you rather see play the 5 out of Randle or Sims?
Randle or Sims? Randle's definitely gonna get the start. That's just what's gonna happen. But I would rather see Jericho just so he can get the beginning of the season going, get his feet wet. Because the season doesn't really start to like the end of mid-season till the All-Star. That's when everything really gets intense. You know what I'm saying? So let him get his feet wet a little bit. But other than that, man, I think Jericho should be the star. I think we should put he needs some experience.
Needs some experience.
And he's good. You just don't really get to see it. If you actually watch the games, that's what I love about every player about this team. When it's their time, they produce. When it's their time to be called, they show up. Unfortunately, in this playoffs, it was just a little different. Intensity was a lot more high, a lot more injuries, but I'm liking how it's looking this year, man. I think now we're a solid threat to Boston. I'm not saying we could beat them, but a solid threat.
What makes us a threat to Boston?
Our defense. Boston shoots a lot of threes. And I'm not even going to lie, Boston got the ring this year. Congrats to them. But this was not Tatum's best year. This year was not his best year at all. I think last year he had a better year, and I don't even think that was one of his best years. But Tatum in the playoffs in like 2017-18, when he was facing the Cavs and getting stopped by the Cavs and LeBron, that's the Tatum I was expecting. But this team shoots a lot of threes. But with Porzingis and White, you got this Grant. They have that Grant. They have that freedom. They could shoot that ball, man. they would just shoot that shit like this guy was just shooting them shits on the court right now. This was just
Yeah, I
keep
seen it.
shooting them shits, and it don't matter the percentage. It doesn't matter the differential, the ratio. They just keep shooting that, and that's where I think we can get them. That's where I think our defense is just unstoppable. You're not gonna keep shooting those threes and miss something. You're gonna have to take it to the paint, and there's too many bigs for that, my man.
Now, speaking of Boston, man, they did New York dirty with the disrespect by putting the Jason Tatum.
But don't you just
Bill,
love it? That's what competition is all about. That grittiness. It's about the best playing the best. And I think Boston and the Knicks are. That's the finals right there. That's a finals series right there. But unfortunately, that's on the East side. But I think we're a legitimate threat. We are a legitimate threat at this moment right now.
Now,
if we just get that solid piece, that one more solid piece, it's over. It's over. New York is gonna be. It's gonna look like the Purge over here, man. This guy is gonna be.
All right. So we in the right direction with Mikal Bridges.
We're on the right path, like I said.
So you're not concerned about all them picks they gave up?
Nah, it's not really. I'm like 10% concerned, if you want to put it that way. It's like because we have all those picks, and we're gonna do it for what? We waited so long, and they've already proven what they want. They want to go and take a shot right now. They want to go for it right now, and they already made that. They already signed Mikal, so it's like it's looking like a go. And OG. So I think this year is looking real great, real great. I felt this way this year, but I felt like we was already a legitimate threat to Boston this year. Honestly, I really did. Like I said, what we said, 25-6 since OG.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on.
So letting RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly go was the right thing.
That was a tough one, and I can feel why Knicks fans are salty about it. Man, that was tough. Man, I love Emmanuel quickly and RJ, but I think that was what's best for them.
I think that was the best.
I think that was best for them. They needed to flourish somewhere else. Their game didn't fit what the Knicks culture actually is right now, and I think they're going to get better defensive-wise. And their offense, come on, man. We don't have to talk about that. Them boys they like that. They them boys.
Yeah.
I think quickly, eventually, give it a year or two, you're gonna see him get a max contract just like Maxey. I compare.
Well, they
him to
just
Maxey.
gave him a contract worth $135 million, man.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna get a max. He's gonna be a max player.
Speaking of max, they gave OG Anunoby, I believe, 212. 215, something like that.
Some kind of big.
Was he overpaid, or do you think he's worth that?
It was a player option. You don't know?
Yeah, it was, because they was going to offer him 19 mil. That was his money.
You gotta understand, like I said before, the agents and advertisements, they're always on his ear. You know what I'm saying? So that player option, the one previously that before he just signed to opt out. It was just like a gimmick, you know. He's showing that he's not bluffing, basically. He's like, you're gonna get him that bag or not. And like I said, bro, the numbers don't lie, man. The numbers don't lie. Since we signed him, the Knicks have been just solid. Even the games we lost, man, it was just like we didn't really lose those games. We fucking played our hearts out, and they just got the best of us. But in a 7-game series, I can't see anybody passing that defense, man. Like I said, we might be ranked in the top 10, maybe 5. I think we came out this year, but I think we're number 1, bro. Honestly, we're number 1 when we had Isaiah. We got to see how it looks now.
All right, and that's what it is, man. I want to thank you for coming on Real Talk with Nick, man.
Nate Dogg. You know the vibes, Birdie.
And that's what it is.
You know the
we
vibes,
out.
gang.
Peace.
Mixtape.